Hello students, Jai Swaminarayan. I am Professor Urvish Mewada, HOD Electrical Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat, Gandhinagar. I am the subject matter of Power System 2 subject, which is in the 5th semester Electrical Engineering Department, and GTU subject code of this subject is 3150911. Students, in previous lecture we have finished the chapter number 3 of this Power System 2 subject, and today we are starting with the chapter number 2, that is representation of the power system components. So here we are going to discuss all the components of the transmission line and say power system in detail, and the working function of all the components of the power system over here. So let us start with the lecture number 1, and topic number 1 is one line representation of power system. So here we indicated the power system, or we can say the whole system of the transmission and distribution and say generation with the one line representation. And due to and with the help of this one line representation, we can have the knowledge of the placement of the utilities in the power system, and their function in this power system and their functions in this power systems. So let us discuss the topic number 1, that is one line and say impedance diagram. So basically a complete diagram of a power system, say representing all three phases, it becomes too complicated. So whenever we have transmission system, so in transmission system generally we have if three phase four wire system, then we have the RYB and neutral. But for the distribution system, generally we have the three phases and the additional wire, which is the earth. So if we consider that three line, and if we draw the line diagram of that system, then that will be complicated. So for a system, for a practical size, so so much means so that it may no longer convey the information it is intended to convey, and it is much more practical to represent a power system by means of simple symbols or for each component, it resulting in what is called the one line diagram. So it is just providing the information regarding the components which are present in the power system, and through which and with the help of this one line diagram, we can identify the placement of any of the elements in the power system, and we can justify the working function of the particular element in the transmission system. So in power system or in a transmission system, the engineer have device per unit system, such that different physical quantities such as current, voltage, power and impedances are expressed as the decimal fraction or multiple of the base quantities. So in the system, the different voltage levels disappear, and a power network consisting synchronous generators, transformers and a line reduces to a system of a simple impedances. So here we are just plotting the simple impedance diagram of the transmission line, and so that by checking this impedances of the line, we can have the control over the whole power system that we establish for the system network. And by getting the placement of this impedances and the components which draw the means which are responsible for the losses in the transmission line, we can compensate the effect of that components during the healthy condition of the power system, and we can maintain the regulation of the power system by compensating the effect of this means the components which produce the losses in the power system. So here the one line representation of the simple power system is drawn. So you are already aware with the symbols that we have used over here in the one line representation of the this power system. So a one line diagram of a power system shows the main connections and arrangement of the component and the placement of the component. So by identifying this one line diagram, we can do the fault finding, as well as we can have the specific knowledge, specific idea about the components and their working function in the power system. And any particular component may or may not be shown depending on the information required in the system study. So example, the circuit breakers need not be shown in a load flow study, but they are must for a protection study. So power system network are represented by only one line diagram. So using suitable symbols for generators, motors, transformers and loads. So means here we have indicated the circuit breakers also, but it is indicated with the symbols. And generator and transformer connections say are in star and delta as per our requirement. So let us discuss this whole diagram. So this is the star connection, the placement of this inductor over here, and it is grounded. So this is number one. Miss, over here we are starting the this one line diagram. This is the circuit breaker. Here means we have the generator, and then after we have the means generator protection, differential protection. So the circuit breaker over here, this is the bus bar, and on this bus bar we have this A is the load which is connected over here. Then after we have the transmission line, after that we have the circuit breaker, and then we have the transformer T1, say star star, means both are in star connection. And then again a circuit breaker, then after the transmission line. And over here the transformer is T2, and it is star delta. So this 4 wire system will have the will converted into the 3 wire system RYB using this. So then after we have the circuit breaker, and again we have the bus on which we have the two generators are connected, generator number 2 and 3. And this is the circuit breaker which is provided for the protection of the generators, generator number 2 and 3. And this is the load which is connected on the bus number 2. So we use such symbols to represent or to indicate the components of the power system. So generator and transformers are connected, say star delta, and neutral grounding are indicated. So the terminal means the neutral terminal which can be ground, which needed to be ground. So this is the neutral terminal grounding method. So this is the grounding done by the means reactance, and this is the grounding done by the resistance. Means the symbol drawn by in the side of the representation of this element. So circuit breakers are represented as the rectangular box. So these are the circuit breaker, and this figure 1 shows the one line diagram of simple power system. The reactance data of the elements which are given in the means diagram. So these are the reactances which are present during presence in the power system network. So let us discuss the impedance diagram of this network. So the impedance diagram of single phase basis means on a single phase basis for use under balance operating condition, it can be easily drawn from the one line diagram for the system. And from the figure number 1 we can draw the impedance diagram of that network using or by replacing all the say reactances and the say impedances of the power system using the impedance diagram. So So from this impedance diagram, you can differentiate the one line diagram and the impedance diagram of the power system. So in one line diagram, we indicate all the devices which are connected in the power system, say transformer, circuit breaker, generator, then transmission line. And in impedance diagram, we discuss all the component and we draw all the components in terms of their impedances, so that we can easily calculate the per unit means power of a particular power system. So the impedance diagram of this is the impedance diagram of the previous network that we shown in the previous slide. So single phase transformer equivalents are shown as ideal transformer with transformer impedance indicated on the appropriate side. So this is the transmission, this is the transformer, and for the this transformer we have drawn their line impedances over here. And the capacitance which are connected between, say, between lines or line to ground is indicated, and this is the transformer at the, say, either side. And These are the impedances of the generator, say generator 2 and 3. This is the impedance of the generator number 1, generator number 1. And the load which is connected over here is load A, and the load which is connected over is load B. So three voltage level, say 6.6, 1, 11, and 33 are represent in the system. So the analysis would proceed by transforming all the voltage and impedance to any selected voltage level. Say that the transmission line 33 kV, the voltage of generators are transformed in the ratio of transformation, and all the impedance by the square of the ratio of the transformation. So this is very like a cumbersome procedure for a large network with several voltage levels. So the per unit method is the most convenient method. So that's why we need to convert the network of the power system into their in terms of their impedances and in terms of their resistances, so we can easily calculate the per unit of any of the network, and so that we can calculate the contingency of the power using per unit system. And the per unit system is the most convenient method for the power system analysis. So so for that before we perform the per unit system calculation, we need to convert the single line diagram to the impedance diagram of the respective network. So let us discuss the per unit system. So basically in power system, quantities such as current, voltage, impedance and power are generally expressed in terms of the per unit value. So for example, base voltage is say 220 kV is specified. Then the voltage 210 kV is 210 by 220 is say 0.954 per unit. So the major advantage of the per unit is that by properly specifying the base quantity, means the quantity which we are using as a base, so this is the base quantity, the equivalent circuit of the, say, transformer can be simplified. And when expressed in per unit values, the equivalent impedance of the transformer, whether referred to the primary, secondary, is the same. So the advantage, means another advantage of the per unit system is that the comparison of the characteristic of the various electrical apparatus of the different types and rating is facilitated by the expressing the impedance in per unit based on their rating. So the main advantage of this per unit system is we can have the base voltage, and from that we can differentiate the values of means impedance value or the reactance value using the system, means per unit voltage system that we use. From that we can easily easily show the impedance in per unit based on their say ratings of the system, and we can solve the network means we can solve the complex network using the per unit system. So when all the quantities are converted in per unit values, so say the different voltage levels disappear. So whenever the value is in pu, from network when the from the network which is started to the ending, we have the different voltage level due to the different transformation of the voltage. Say with the help of transformer, we perform the stepping up and stepping down the voltage. So that if we need to solve that network, so that will become quite complex to solve. But once we convert this different voltage levels or we can say the system into the per unit system, so the different voltage level will get disappear, and the power network involving synchronous generator, transformer, and lines reduces a system of simple impedances. So that simple impedances can be easily counted and can easily taking into the account, and we can calculate the per unit of that simple network using per unit formula. So per unit quantity is the actual quantity to the base value of the quantity. So over here, this is the one example is given that the base value is 220 kV and the actual value is 210 kV. So the per unit value of this network is say 0.954 per unit. So let us discuss the topic number 2 for this chapter is one line representation of the power system, means per unit power system of the one line representation of the power system. So this is the topic number 2, per unit power per unit system. So as we discussed, the per unit method is particularly convenient in power system, as the various selection of the power system are connected through the transformer and have their different voltage level. So as we discussed that the complex networks having network having like a number of transformers which are required to change the voltage level of the transmission system. So due to that different voltage levels, it is quite complicated to calculate or we can say analyze that network. We need to convert that network into their equivalent impedance, and then after we can calculate the per unit system. So consider first the single phase system. Let the base volt amperes are VAB in VA, and base voltage VB V. So base volt amperes is VA and base voltage is VB. Then the base current IB is VA base to the V base ampere. So the value of the impedance ZB means base value of the voltage, Z is equal to V upon I. So base value of the voltage to the base value of the current. So this is nothing but the V upon I. So VB upon IB. Now VB into say VB divided by VB into IB. So VB square by rated kVA. So K VB square by rated MVA. So this is how we can calculate the rating of the say base impedance value using this formula. So as the means rating is going higher, we can put like KVB, then MVB, according to the level of the transmission system or network will get increased. So the IB is nothing but the VB. So sorry, IB is nothing but the VAB divided by VB. So if we put the value over here, then we can get the value of ZB. So we have the value of base voltage say VB at V, and base volt ampere is VA B at VA. So the base current IB is VAB divided by VB. So by placing these values, we can determine the value of ZB. Now, if the actual impedance is Z ohm, its per unit value is say given by Zp is equal to Z original divided by the base value of the impedance. So Z ohms into VAB divided by say VB square. So this ZB is that we derived over here from KVB square, or we can say VB into VB divided by VB into IB. So this will become Z ohm into VA base divided by VB square. So for a power system, practical choice of base values are say base megawatt ampere MVAB, or base kilowatt ampere is KVAB, and base kilovolts is KVB. KV at say B indicates the base. So base current IB is the say if it is multiplied with K, then this is 1000, then 1000 into MVA base divided by KV base. So KVA base to KV base ampere, this is the base current, and the base impedance value will become from this will be 1000 into KV base KV base divided by base V base. So from this we can determine the value of ZB, and by placing the values of this ZB as KV square B means base value into divided by MVA base. So by putting the values of KVB from this is 1000 KVB square, and the MVAB will be the KVA at base ohms. So from this, the per unit impedance ZPU will be Z ohms into the VAB will replace with the MVAB, and VB square will be replaced with the KVB square. So Z ohms into KVA base to the 1000 1000 multiplied by KVB square. So in three-phase system, rather than obtaining the per unit system values using per phase base quantity, the per unit values can be obtained directly by using three-phase base quantities. Let us discuss the three-phase base megavolt amperes are MVA based, and line to line base kilovolts are KV base. So assuming star connection, the equivalent star can always be found that base current IB is the 1000 into MVA base divided by root 3 into KV base ampere. So from that we can have the value of ZB. So ZB is the nothing but the 1000 into KV base divided by root 3 base I base. So V, this is nothing but the V upon I. So KV base square divided by MVA base. So by placing this values we will get 1000 into KV base square divided by KVA base ohms. So per unit impedance ZPU is from the previous section we see that Z ohm, Z is in ohms into multiply by MVA base divided by KV base square. So by placing the values of all this quantities Z ohm into KVA base means so it is converted into KV square is 1000 into KV base square. So when the MVA base is changed from the MVA base old to MVA base new, and KV base change from KV base old to KV base new, so Z per unit, so ZPU can be determined with the help of this equation, that ZPU old into MVA base new divided by MVA base old multiplied by KV base old square multiplied with KV base new square. Now let us discuss the per unit representation of the transformer. So first of all we have means shown the impedance and the reactance of the transformer. Say this is 1 gem A transformer. So as we know that the three phase transformer transforming part of three phase system can be represented by the single phase transformer. So over here So over here, the delta connected winding of the transformer is replaced by an equivalent star, so that the transformation ratio of the equivalent single phase transformer is always the line to line voltage ratio of the three phase transformer. So this figure 1 represent a single phase transformer in terms of primary and secondary leakage reactance, say ZP and ZS. So this is the primary leakage reactance and this is the secondary leakage reactance, and an ideal transformer, say ratio 1 gem A, the magnetizing impedance is neglected. Let us choose a volt ampere base of the VAB, and the voltage basis of this two sides of the transformer. This is the primary side and this is the secondary side, and the transformer is in the ratio of the transformation, say V1 B means base, V1 means at the primary side, V1 V2 base at the secondary side is equal to 1 by A. So this is the representation of the single phase transformer. Now let us discuss the per unit of this. Then I1B and I2B is equal to A, as the VA base is common. That's why I1B and I2B is A. Then Z1B will become V1B by I1B. So and Z2B will be the V2B by I2B. So from figure number 1 we can write that V2 is equal to V1 minus I1 into ZP into A minus I2 into ZS. So this is the secondary voltage by subtracting the losses in the transformer, and that will be the input minus losses is the output. So we shall convert the equation number 4 into per unit system. So the V2 per unit will be the V2 base is equal to, as we know that V1 per unit and V1B minus I1 per unit into I1B. So Z per unit into Z1B into A, minus I2 per unit, I2 for this I2 per unit and I2 base, and ZS per unit into Z2 base. So this is the equivalent conversion of the means per unit form, and thus dividing equation number 5 by V2B. Using the base relation from the equation 1 2 3 and 4, so the equation will become V2 per unit. So V2 base is cancelled out over here, then V1 per unit minus I1 per unit into ZP per unit minus I2 per unit into ZS per unit. So from this we have the I1 by I2 is equal to I1 base to the I2 base is equal to A, or I2 base is equal to I2 base. We can write both the way. So therefore I1 per unit is equal to I1 per unit is equal to I2 per unit is equal to 1 pu. So by using equation number 7, equation number 6 can be means therefore equation 6 can be written as V2 per unit is, we are keeping it same it is, and then V1 per unit minus the total current I per unit of this network, and Z per unit means impedance of the transformer. Now ZPU is the combination of ZP per unit plus ZS per unit. So equation 8 can be expressed by like single diagram. So V1 per unit is the input voltage per unit voltage, and this is the per unit current IPU, and ZPU is the reactance of the, say, transmission line per unit reactance, and this is the secondary voltage secondary per unit voltage. So ZPU can be determined directly from the equivalent impedance on primary secondary side of the transformer using the appropriate impedance base. So Z1 is equal to ZP plus Z2 by A square, because both are sharing in primary as well as the secondary, so it is divided by A square. So here you can see that from this equation Z per unit is equal to ZP per unit plus ZS per unit. So from this Z1 per unit will become Z1 divided by z1 base is equal to z1 divided by z1 base plus zs divided by z1 base into 1 upon a square. So from this we can write a square into z1b is equal to z2b. So z1 per unit will become z per unit plus zs per unit is equal to z per unit. So from this equation number 9 we can calculate the z1 per unit of the system. Now one secondary side, on the secondary side z2 is equal to, from the previous equation we can write the z2 is equal to zs plus a square into zp. So z2 per unit will become z2 divided by z2 into z2 base is equal to zs divided by z2 base plus a square into zp in divided by z2 base. So a square into z1b is equal to z2b. So from that we can write the equation for z2 per unit as the zs per unit plus zp per unit is equal to z per unit. So this is the equation number 10 for the per unit impedance for the secondary side of the transformer. Thus the per unit impedance of the transformer is the same whether the computed from the primary or secondary side, so long as the voltage basis on the two sides are the ratio of the say its transformation. So after this chapter means topic of this chapter, you have the assignment questions are explain the line diagram of the power system, and the second question is what do you mean by per unit system, explain per unit representation of transformer with the necessary derivation, and the related instructions for this assignment is written below this assignment questions. Please read it carefully, and if you have any doubt or any query after this topic, you can ask your queries and doubt, or you can solve your queries and doubt in a doubt solving session. Also feel free to call me for your queries and doubts related to this topic. So you can take the snap of this slide also. So thank you very much student, thank you all. Jai Swaminarayan.